Okay, so now I'm cabled. I have optical fiber, so I want to probably make other videos. I'm I really missed YouTube, so I'll try to yes rebuild this channel. So I will work on this figure I sculpted last summer. I will work on this one, and it's inspired by a voodoo divinity, which is named Baron Samedi. In English, this means Baron Saturday. It's it comes from Asian voodoo, and it's quite interesting to work on this guy. He's some kind of a god of the dead ones, and yeah, he's not malevolent. I think he's some kind of a neutral guy, but I always like to think him as a somehow a jolly good fellow. Okay, a guy quite fun, but a little thrilling. Maybe I will sculpt his wife, which is called Maman Brigitte, which is very nice for me because my own mother is called Bridget. She is a protector of tombs. Just remember that the tomb has to have a cross on it, and she has some rude language, and from what I've read, she loved to drink piment juice. So that's something funny to think of this woman. So yeah, I will try to make one of the to make one figure out of this element. And yes, I also want to build another baron, which is called Baron Cimetière, Baron's cemetery, which is the spirit of the first guy who would have been entered in a cemetery, and another one which is called Baron Criminal, the first criminal put in earth in a cemetery. So yeah, that's my work. I also worked on this one. So let me just put this aside. This one, which is little steampunk stuff, these those glasses. And yeah, she's almost finished. I just let her stay a little. It's made. I'll stay a little. It's made. I'll always use Sculpey for that, so it's a super Sculpey firm. And yeah, I just let it stay, and in order to stabilize the clay. And after just some minor adjustments, here on the nose, it's not perfect. Here and there's a small problem here on the clavicular head. I will try to improve it and bake it, and maybe mold it. It's my companion, my wife, almost wife, which will do the molding and probably the casting. And yeah, I worked also on paint lately, like this. I work on this one. I'm sorry. Yeah. So that's a 4 hour work. I just made it for chilling a little, and yeah, So I really enjoy to paint. Lately I've just sculpted, but yeah, painting will be I will try to make other contents with painting. But you know, the main problem I had with my channel, and that's why I was away from since 2 years by now, I think. It's that it requires a lot of work, and I was alone. I made everything, so I made my own brushes. I made the footage, and I made the edition. So yeah, that's some work, but it's cool, and I was happy to make it. But I also made my own music. I know that some of you guys really don't like my way of making music, but it was just for me. I made my study in music, so that was just for avoiding the you know the intellectual property stuff. I preferred to make everything, but it was quite hard because I didn't have the optical fiber. My connection was just an old one, and I had to upload my videos elsewhere, and it was just sorry to say that, but pain in the ass. And I was a little shy too. Now I think, yeah, my English is not it's far from perfect, but I'll try, really I try to improve it. And yeah, I will try to make more content, but with a little less attention on my spoken language. So I'm sorry if I don't speak very well. I will try to improve it, but I hope you will forgive me for my future, my present and future faults in English. And yeah, so I continue just to show you some of my current work. I also worked on this one. I call her Jane Doe. Sorry for the pun, it was intended. And I will remove the this down part. I will just, you know, have a slight cut here and here, and I want to just like I don't know. I think it was Alfonso Giraldes, but I'm not sure. I want to build a bust for studying colors, and maybe giving some courses around the flesh tones and the, the the primary light, the secondary light, and yeah, sculpting something. I think that was the one of the best options. So here she is. I also, sorry, I worked on this guy too, which is made just last summer. Sorry. So I call him the Mad King. Obviously, you can tell why, and I will try to push a little further the work. It's still really rough, so I just put some ideas here and there, and after that I just realized that I will need some frame, so I cut some parts. I pushed milliput, which is just like epoxy clay. It's an epoxy clay, and let it dry, and I rebuild I rebuild the form here, and I will add some wire and push it a little further, and yes, ideas just came through the process. Okay, I don't use any concepts, illustration. I could draw, but I really enjoyed to just sculpt for sculpting. So it's quite long. because yes, I do have some flaws in sculpture, so I have to improve it more and more and more. But yeah, it's something I really enjoy. Another one, quite happy so far. Some some friends of mine just told me that he was just looking like Mr. T if Mr. T was a dwarf. So yeah, I really thank you for the guy. I've seen someone just who commented my video. Oh, thank you, Ronnie Vieira. Thanks a lot. It's very cheering. Thanks. And yeah, this guy, and I'm very proud you like my sculptures. And you know the this one, I will just add some nipples, of course, and some veins here and there, and yeah, it will be finished and also molded and casted by my wife. So things are turning pretty well. I just need to focus on finishing stuff, and you can tell by the mess of my desk that it's quite hard for me to finish stuff. I always had new ideas, and I always want to push further and further, and until I'm just tired of one project, so I put it aside and I take another and another figure. And when I was sculpting, I just keep thinking, oh, I want to paint, so I grab a figure and I paint it, and so on and so on and so on. So I'm very undisciplined, and I will try to improve it, because yes, of course, I really want to have a miniature range, and to paint my own work. It's something very interesting, I think, to do, to paint my own sculpture. So I I really appreciate to work also on painting stuff like this one, but this one I will not. I can't just move it because it's very heavy. It's made in metal, and it's made by Pegaso. This mini bust is 90 millimeter figures with just on which we cut the legs and the arms. But it's made in metal. It's very heavy, so I can't move it too much. But I really enjoy to paint also historical stuff, and I think on this channel later I will try to produce some reviews, because a lot of people know Games Workshop, and I can tell why, because Games Workshop is a good company and they're making good figures. I paint a few of them, and I can tell that this is going better and better, and they are so. Yes, they produce some very nice stuff lately. So yeah, obviously they deserve to be addressed as a very good company. But there is no just Games Workshop. There is a lot of other manufacturer, and I really want to yes, to speak about their products. Like this one, I enjoy to paint those guys, those little guys. It's from sorry, the picture is not very good, but it's from a miniature range, very known miniature range. It's Andrea miniature, and yes, I really love those figures, because I always thought that those figures are some candies. You're treating yourself when you're painting this, because It's not very complicated to paint, and it's very very enjoyable. They have a good style, and I really like those figures. But I will try also to talk about those companies like Alexandros Model, which is obviously this miniature is in one of my bags because I have to rework on it. I put it in contest, but it was not as good as I wanted to, because I had some problems, and those problems I want to explain, because a lot of people think that you can mix everything, you can mix paint just the way you like it, and yes, of course, you mixing paint is a great thing, but mixing brands can be very tricky, tricky stuff. Sorry, because there are chemical reactions that could occur, and that could ruin your efforts of painting, especially if you want to have something quite blended. So I want to talk about that on this channel, and in the near future. So for now, I will just refresh a little my work on this one, and if you have any question, I try to keep an eye on the chat. So yes, I will be more than pleased to answer. And go. I will work. So we'll use this loop tool. Okay, I use a lot of loop tools. This one I made myself. Okay, 90% of my tools are made by myself. Okay, because yes, I think it's the case for the most part of the sculptors. It's so easy to just build your own tool because they they obviously will fit the use you will have for it. And this one is just just a wood stick made in French. In France we say brochette, but I don't know brochettes. I don't know in English. Sorry. And I just glue a loop of metal wire made by myself, and I just use a diamond file in order to have a rough surface, and I use it like this just for removing just a little clay on the surface in order to smooth it. Okay, so I will just refresh it here and there, and I'm not searching after a perfectly smooth surface. I just want to eliminate a little of the roughest shapes, and see where my main volumes are going. I think that it will be enough. Just put it here and there, and that would be enough. Yes, I will work. I will just add some. Oh, sorry. I have a little vocabulary problem. Oh, sorry. It was so I want to add feather. Okay, to add a lot of feather here, because I want to add volumes. You know, here there is something which is a little empty. Okay, and this emptiness I want to fill. So in order to fill this emptiness, I will empty area, I will add some feather. Okay, and I think I will try to have this M shape. Okay, just for magnifying the shoulder. Okay. Oh, yeah. Is it sharpened loop? It's not just it's not sharpened. It's just roughing the surface. Okay. Let me show you. I Yes. I have some wireframe, so I will make my tool. It's a big one, but it's easier to see. And when I have my shape, I use a diamond file just for roughing it a little. It I have a very slight grain on the surface, and this can rattle a little the surface of clay. The Oh, sorry. The loop tools I'm using are made of guitar strings. Okay, these are the roughest I use. Like this. This is the biggest, and so it's you know you have something like a spring. You have we call it in French it's I think in English we could say soul. You have a metal wire, and wrapped around it another metal wire, which is giving a spring shape, and it's very rough. When I use it, it's scraping the surface a lot. I have a smaller one. It's just thinner, and I use this, which is just smaller and smaller. Okay, and I use this tool, which is the thinner one, just in order to smooth the surface. So loop tools are very, very interesting. I come from the 28 millimeter miniature range, so approximately Warhammer stuff, and there are few people. There are very, very few people who use who are using the wire tools. Most of the time they sculpt with needles and spatulas, and they almost never use loop tools. And seeing other people sculpting on bigger scale than 20 millimeters, I've seen that loop tools are very, very useful, and not just for carving stuff on figures. It's very useful for smoothing and blending the volumes. Yes, yes, and this technique is very. I've seen a lot of people using it on oil clay, like monster clay. Oh, I can show you. I have sculpted a little head on it, with it. Yes, oil clay. I really, really like oil clay. I use a little monster clay in order to sculpt this. This was my first attempt of sculpting. Sorry, there's some cat hair around it. This was my first attempt of sculpting a 1/6 head. I really enjoy to use this clay, and I think I will work on it more in the future, because it's very enjoyable. It's the hard one, and it's just so cool to just sculpt and never worried about framing. It's very nice. I really enjoyed it. So on Sculpey, I've seen a difference between two bench of clay. I had old ones which was almost dried, and it was very hard to use. And I just recently rebuilt and rebuilt my stash, and now I can tell that brand new clay is not as firm as I thought it was. Okay, it's just coming through the package, and yes, it's very, it's quite, it's kneeable, sorry. So it's not as hard as I thought it was when I use old package. So now I will just knead it a little in order to put some volumes on these shoulders. And we'll see where it's going to. I'm some kind of I'm sorry, I really like this word in French. It's pusillanime. I love this word because in English I don't know how I can say it, but I'm afraid of going too far, or adding stuff on my figure which I will regret later, and I try to not think too much about that. I'm keeping adding stuff. I'm trying to just keep in mind that if something is not good, I can remove it. It's not an issue. But yeah, things are what they are, and I'm quite afraid of adding new stuff on a current figure. But let's go. We'll see. So for the feathers, I think the best way to achieve my result is just to put clay and see what's happening. So I will put clay here and there, and some blobs of clay. I will just draw a little, just for having a small frame. So here, just here. I will add here and here. Okay, just a little line, just in order to see where approximately where it's going. Here, yes. This will be sufficient. So I will add just a smaller one here. I put clay first on this surface because the other parts will go over it. So the first thing is to build the last area first, and I will add which is going on top of that. Another reason of why I love bust sculpting, it's because I can use my fingers. I love to use my fingers to sculpt. It's it's really, yes, really cool to use this, to use your fingers. Um, I am a big fan of Philippe Farreau, Philippe Farreau's work, and he work on big scales. Okay, one quarter or even one scale, and yes, he uses a lot his fingers in the first steps, and I really enjoy to see that. So it's really nice to, for this, you know, this quite not boring but tedious work. It's nice to just, you know, have the feeling of making things happening and showing some work. I really like that. Yeah. One of my flaws, and I know it's a flaw, I have a tendency to work too much on my surfaces. So I really, really think that it's. Oh yeah, you agree that hands are the sculptural best tools. Yes, yes, it's very important to use hand. I have not big hands, but quite long ones. On smaller scale, it's quite difficult. But I try to use a lot my nails for the first to blend the first the first layers of clay. Yeah. So here I will have to use a small tool just for push it in place. Yes. Oh, so yes, I was just saying that my flow, my one of my flaws is that I work too much on the surfaces. I will have to add some wrinkles and some planar stuff. Okay, it's just a little too much blended and too much rounded volumes. So I will have to focus more on planar stuff, I think. But yeah, I have progress to make, so I will try to improve. Just put some music. I will try to not put it too loud. But and maybe I will tell on Facebook that that I'm currently on YouTube. I think it would be a good idea. So I don't know for you, but I really need to have some of my attention focused on my figure, but also something in order to keep my to keep one part of my brain. I have not better. I don't have any better expression to keep it just busy on to be focused on other thing than sculpting. Okay. Okay, so I just write that I'm on live stream, YouTube, talking about sculpting. Yeah. So, some music. Some music. Uh-huh. A little music here and there. Where are... Okay. Yes. Okay. Mm, I really enjoy cheesy music. I feel guilty about that because obviously I made my studies in I studied musicology, but I really enjoy cheesy music. Don't know why. Some deep house stuff. Yes, something I really like. Okay, so let's let's go to work. Oh, let's get yeah. Yes, you too need. Oh, that's cool. That's cool to know that I'm not alone. You need a second thing happening. Focus on sculpting to usually music. Yes, sometimes movies. Yes, yes. And my companion, it's just like that too. She likes to have. She loves to do crochet. She loves to hook thing, and she enjoyed to have some some episodes from anime stuff like One Piece. She really enjoyed that. So let's go. But yes, to just to react on another comment. Yes, yes, to have a good look on our own flaws, it's very important. And I know what are my flaws, and I know that I had problems on working on overworking stuff and losing some efficiency. On paint, it's not. I don't have this problem, but I think I'm a better painter than a sculptor. But I really enjoy to sculpt, so I'm trying to improve on that. But yes, in sculpting process, I know that I have a quite big progress curve in front of me. Oh. I think it's also very important to have some sculptures to admire. I really love the work of Mark Newman. One of my dreams would be to fly to America and to United States and to work in a team for a sideshow company. It's somehow a dream because in France it's very difficult to build a career in 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 creation. It's not impossible. It's not impossible, but it's very difficult because you can do one thing and just that thing. You want to sculpt, you can just sculpt because obviously this will not pay enough for you to do other things. And if you're a business owner, you have a lot of institutional work, okay, taxes and stuff and paperwork. So it's quite difficult to focus on creation only. And that's why I think it's not better in United States, but I think it's just less difficult to, when you have the chance to have work, it's less difficult to build a career. I think I can't really tell. It's just an idea, but yeah, I have this dream, so I trying to improve. Maybe why not apply to a job there? But no, there are very few chances I can be hired because they have a lot of very, very, very talented and good and very nice sculptor in United States. Sorry. But hey, you have to have some dreams. Okay. I know that a lot of French guys flew to United Kingdom for working to Games Workshop. That could be a good thing. I'm not. I think it will not be for me because working on 28mm figures and only that. Not no. Don't feel very comfortable at this idea. But obviously, there are some very great sculptures here. I knew a few of them. We just lost sight. But yes, there are very good people there in sculpting, involved in sculpting. Oh, sorry. I just saw that I have some answers. Sorry. Oh yes, in Brazil it's difficult, even harder than maybe in France. Oh yes. Oh, probably. You have a lot of paperwork too. But there are new companies raising. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm very impressed by the amount of offer of new companies. It's incredible to see that there are a lot of new stuff and good stuff, very good stuff. With the rise of digital sculpting, it's very impressive. I've seen some companies like Big Charles. It's very, very cool, and yes, that's very obviously very good to have such offers. Oh. So, okay, feathers. All the feathers. Yeah. Okay. Another thing which is it's not bothering me, but sometimes it's quite difficult to address this reality. But there is a very dynamic market for gaming stuff, and I think that display stuff it's growing, of course, but it's not as as known as it should be. It's yes, it's something quite strange that people just admire tabletop stuff and seems to never give a, sorry for the rude language, but give a shit about display stuff. Can tell on Facebook if I put some Games Workshops some Games Workshop figure, I will have don't know, maybe 3 times the exposure I will have if I put another company model. And obviously non-gaming, not a gaming brand. Okay, yeah, I was a little afraid, but yeah, that's not bad at all. That's cool. Yeah, I think this will be nice. We'll refresh it, of course, but yeah, those small volumes are, well, are quite nice. So we'll continue. Yeah. Okay. Okay. You. Yep. Push it there and yo. Okay. 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 So I'll keep adding some feathers and some volumes. Here, yeah. Oh, I've seen that guy named Alex just shared my live stream. Thank you, guy. Thanks. It's very appreciated, very much appreciated. And sometimes it's just difficult to be alone in a workshop and just try to keep some mojo for what we are doing day after day after day after day, doubt after any doubt, and step after step. Sometimes it's not the boredom, but it's just hard to keep our heads up and to keep some confidence in our own work. That's why I wanted to try some live stream, some true live stream, just yes, talking. And in France we have a word for that. I think there is two in English, but I just don't know it. In France we say soliloque, which is the meaning of it is just talking alone. And yes, it's sometimes it's very very nice just talk to ourselves. Obviously, with the magics of internet, with this magic we can just talk to people who are just willing to listen and maybe answer. And yes, that's nice. That's very nice. Okay. Yes, I'm not exactly alone. Thank you. And no, I think it's just you have this illusion of loneliness, which is just an illusion because on the internet we're never alone, and that's why it's cool. And it's very nice to see that something would find tedious to work on is actually taking shape with almost no effort. So that's cool, and that's something I really like. Okay. Here we are. There. Okay. Okay. Nice. Here. Yep. That's cool. And I think this will be enough. Just had the last one. And after that, I think this will be coffee time. I need my drug. Okay. Yes, I think it's really better with those volumes than before. So yeah, I have no regrets. Yep. It's a little too big. I will just remove this. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Thanks. Thank you. And one thing quite noticeable, and that's why I wanted to add feathers. And I've read on Wikipedia that the Baron Samedi's wife, Maman Brigitte, was pictured as as chicken feather. She could be symbolized by a chicken feather. So that was one of the reasons, one of the main reasons I wanted to add some feathers on Baron Samedi. Yes, I've seen a little problem here. Not too much of one. I will improve it later, but you know, there is some asymmetry here, and yes, this is quite nice. I'm quite happy with this, but those feathers are too small, so I will have to add some matter on it. I will do it just a little later, but yeah, try to keep that in mind. Okay. Oh, my fingers are quite too big. Yup. There. Yup. Okay. Try to fix this here. Okay. A little more here. Okay. Okay. I will just before having a small break, we'll add some mineral spirit in order to blend a little and to avoid to have too much air in those gaps. It's mainly because I want to mold it, so I will have to take care of those big recesses to not being too big, too deep, in fact. So I just add some mineral spirit. I use artistic grade of petroleum because it's less aggressive than the crafting stuff, you know, that we could find in stores like Home Depot, or in France we don't have any Home Depot. We have craft store, just like that. Okay, just add some here. This will dissolve the clay, the polymer clay, and this will just fill a little those gaps. Here we are, and yeah. The other function of what I'm doing here is to somehow glue the stuff, obviously, because if it's dissolving the clay, this will ensure a gluing effect. Okay, this will stick these headed volumes together and to the surface on which they are put. Okay, now this will be enough for that, and I will just wait it to dry. I will be back in 30 seconds, just the time for me to have a little cup of coffee. Okay. Yeah. That's always a good thing to have coffee. I'm just a coffee junkie. But yeah, I need this. Oh. Ah. Yes, I work too. I really like this small range. It's a Mao Miniature that made those quite nice stuff. They they're they try to give the opportunity of you know of threading to young sculptors, and yeah, I really like this small range. I've just painted it just for chilling. Okay, it's just it's not a big project, but yeah, those figures are very nice. I really like those small brands, not very known, but which are making stuff in another way. Yes, that's cool. Had this one too, which is obviously it's no longer made, but yes, it was from a game named El Dorado, uh, and it's a character named after French history. It's Gilles de Rais, and it had been sculpted by a man who lived not very far from where I live in France. Uh, the name of the sculptor is Thomas David, and Thomas is a great sculptor and great painter. He made a lot of stuff. He worked for the Kingdom Death universe. Yes, very good sculptor and very good painter. Okay. So I will have to wait. I use a lot of mineral spirit, and maybe a little too much. But okay. I will just have to wait that those things dry up a little, and in order to have a good to have good and stable volumes. So after my coffee, I will focus maybe on those spiky parts here and there, on the and on his hat. I think of it as maybe, I don't know, thoracic bones more than teeth. Don't know. I think I will add, but maybe after I bake, maybe I will add some, long feathers at the back of the hat. Yes. And I want to add the cigar in his mouth, and a pair of glasses, because Baron Samedi seems to have sunglasses with one missing glass, and I think it would be so badass to have these those strange looking glasses. So I'm trying to figure out how to make something very thin, but it has to be molded. So I'm currently thinking of what I will do in order to have something thin, but um, but but moldable. So yeah, there are some issues I will need to address when I will make the mold. Sorry, my wife. When my wife will make the mold, because she is the molder. Okay. Oh, I will share this in a French group of figure painter. Let's see if they're interested. Okay. Just say hello. I'm making a live stream. And let's see if they want to join. Yes, true. Not so easy to mold it. Yes, yes. This will be difficult. We tried to mold an older one, but obviously I will not commercialize it because it's not enough good in sculpture. Sorry for the people who don't want to see nipples, but it's nude, and yes, it was it. And this is a product in resin, but it's not enough well sculpted, so I will just keep it and not sell it, because obviously I made some progress last summer, and my new way of making things is by far better than that. So yeah, but we have a little experience on molding stuff, and my almost wife is yes, it's promising. It's promising. Yeah, I think our project is on its way. I also want to continue. I intend to continue another project. I struggle to find a good posable mannequin, so I learned a little on how to make ball jointed dolls. So I made this, and I have to make the limbs. This will be a reference doll for posture, so I will need to change this rubbery ribbon in order to have something tighter. But you know, this could keep a shape and a posture. It's very difficult to make it in a traditional way. I think sculpting in 3D would be better, but I don't have the reflex of working in 3D, so I make this with Fimo, and I figure out how to make some good balls, and this is not bad. Obviously I have the limbs, but the limbs are not, they are articulated, but they are not finished yet, so I will have to work on it. But yes, it's quite promising because I can't find very good posable dolls. They're too expensive or not as good as they should be. So yeah, making my own stuff. Okay. So, thank you. Okay. Back to business. So, let's see how I can improve that. Okay, bird skull is not perfect, but yes, this will be enough. Um, Sorry. Okay. Yep. Okay, those rib bones. It would be nice. Yep. Okay. I hope that those volumes will give strength to this part, which is very, very thin. And I want it to be a little firmer than it is. So we'll see. I'm not focusing on being very even. Okay, this is too tall. I will cut things out after working a little on the volumes. Maybe when I finish those projects, I'll try to live stream the entire process I use for sculpting a bust from the very beginning to the end, or almost end, like that. Because I really like to use a soldered frame, sorry, soldered metallic frame. So I use a nice a wireframe metallic, sorry, iron thread, and I'm using silver in order to have two pieces in cross soldered together, because I think that soldering an armature is better. It gives more strength, and I had some troubles when I pushed a little too much on my clay. I had those problems of a gluing area. I have this gluing stuff breaking apart, and it's not enjoyable to have to remove clay and to reglue the wireframe, and to re-put some clay on it. So I think that using silver to solder threads together, it's better, and I want to show it's very simple. It's very simple. When I sculpt an entire figure, I also like to use a soldered armature. Now here we are, our thread, but this is some solder, because I like to build armature in a neutral posture, and I pose it after having the overall human shape in my skeleton. Oh, thank you. You would like that. I'll try. I really will try to to stream the entire process. It's quite nice because it's a messy process. After I made the wire frame, I put some aluminum foil on it. I glue it, and after that, I glue my first layer of clay with a super glue, with this kind of glue, and I glue. I almost glue more my fingers than the clay on the surface, and that's something I really like, to have my hands glued and dirty. And yes, it's 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 a little childish, but I really like that. It reminds me when I was a kid, and I played in mud just like any kid. And yeah, that's nice. Okay. Okay, no, I will add more clay on this. Yeah. Okay. Yes, it's very nice sensation thinking of the dry glue. Yeah, yes, yes. When you're peeling off the glue, yeah. Or when I have too much glue, I use acetone. And this is a nice sensation too, because acetone just give a refreshing sensation on the human skin, and the super glue is almost melting. Gelifying, in fact. That's something quite nice. I have this, it's almost a passion now. I really like to collect solvents. I have acetone, isopropanol. I use I use it a lot because I really like to strip paints apart, to strip paint, sorry, from a model in order to repaint it. So yeah, I have this nice collection of solvents. Oh, yep. There is a problem here. A little patch, and this will be good here. Okay. Okay. Yup. Here we are. There. Nice. That's always something. It's something that came in my mind just now, but yeah, I think that we creative people are some kind of blessed because obviously we need to work and work and work, and it's quite difficult to reach an acceptable level in those kind of activities. But I I really enjoy these to make something yes, not meaningful, but with a an understandable form out of that. That's something. Yes, that's something cool, and it's not magic, but yes, there's some kind of blessing. The blessing is, this sensation of when you really want to make something, even if you have flaws, even if it's difficult, you will put effort in it, and obviously effort will pay more or less, but yes, you will have results. In France, we have craftsmen. Sorry, we call them compagnons du devoir. There are some artisans, and they have a wonderful vision of projects. They just told that a project will be an object. It will be finished in one time or another. But what you learned from this project will feed you, and you will not be the same person you used to be before the project. This project just made you move forward, and that's something I try to focus on. To it's just like the finished, not perfect stuff, but it's just a little more poetic, according to me, of course. But yeah, that's something I really like. Okay, so another music compilation. Okay. Okay. Put a little dab of stuff here. Yep. Nice. Okay. Okay, so now remove this gap. Okay, nice. I will add some clay here because I don't want to have a gap between the future ribbon I will put here. So I will just add some clay between those sharp volumes, pointy one, and we'll see. Okay. Yo. Okay. Okay. Here we are. Not bad. Not bad. I will add some loop tool step here. And yeah, this would be nice. Yep. Okay. It's too much. Yes, just a little here. Yep. Okay. Okay. Just some loop tool. Here and there. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. And a small loop tool, very small one. Okay. Just push a little further here. Yeah. Okay, I will have to add some clay. Just, yeah. Add some here. Here. Okay. Yes. So that's it. Okay. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Okay. Very useful, those rubbery thing. No, those clay shapers. That's very, very useful. Just know that push some clay to uniformize something. Yeah, nice, very nice. Those silicone brushes. Since we have some stuff here to for our molding process, I'm looking forward to try to make my own tools, my own silicone tools. This could be very useful. I have to try it in the near future, because it's quite difficult to find those nice tools, and they are quite expensive. And another thing I've seen, it's that there is some chemical aggression of the polymer clay on those tools, and they are just being more and more, you know, they're going tenders. I don't think it's the right word. Yes, it's softening it. So the main issue is that on clay shapers is the firmer the firmest grade of those silicone brushes. There are two other type of brushes which are called color shapers. They are a little softer than that, but even the black one, the firmest one, tends by used to be as soft as the gray ones. It's not a big issue, but yeah. It's something. Okay. Now the ribbon. I will use one of my biggest spatulas. This one. Oh, you too. You have this kind of problem. Yeah. I just I can't see what kind of other stuff can cause that. So I thought of a chemical reaction, but maybe it's, you know, it's a very long reaction with the gases in the air. I don't know, but I really think that it's caused by the chemical aggression of polymer clay. The other problem is that it's the overall quality. I think that it's difficult to find some nice forms. You know, those type of forms. I really like the gray one, but they tend to lose their tip, and it's very difficult to find this angled chisel with a nice tip in the intermediate firmness. So yeah, that's why I really want to try to produce my own, not being dependent on what I could find in stores. Even if I don't have to complain, we have great stores here. I live in Western France and we have a lot of nice stores. I've seen some very good works with far less than what I can find here. So, not complaining at all. Too big. Too thick. More than too big. Yep, that's not bad. Put here. Okay, and I will remove things. Oh. Yeah. I love my cat, but there are cat hair everywhere. That's a problem. Ah! But I love my cat. It's not making my life any easier, but yeah, I love my small furry ball. Not that small. He's a grown-up one, but it's still my kitty. Okay. Not bad at all. Okay. Oh, you have 3 dogs. Oh, yeah. Different level now. I can't compete. Okay, I like dogs too. This reminds me of very nice culture I've seen here on YouTube. Can't remember his name. Made some great videos, great editing skill. Obviously, he's a very good sculptor, but more than that, he is a very good video maker. And he made a sculpting video where he sculpted a portrait of, I think, his dog with aluminum foil. That was awesome. I was just amazed by his sculpting skills and his way of looking things and making stuff with just some aluminum foils and his two hands. That was beautiful. Great video. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, the fur. Yeah, the furs. You mean that the fur just stuck on the, sorry, the axis of the wheel. I assume it's that. That, yes, that is something not very simple to do. To just, for me, I cut it, and I have long hairs, so I have double punishment. Okay, just push it here and fill this gap. Yup. A little one here. Okay. No, not enough. Prefer to. Oh no, I can. No, I will push it and I will add more. Okay. I think he will have earrings too. I think it could be badass to have that. Earrings, just one with another feather. Why not? We'll see. Yeah. Really like sculpting. Very nice to work on that. It's not sticking on the tool. There's Fimo, which is very nice too. Really like Fimo. Not for making busts, but for a complete figure in a small scale, 28, 32 millimeters, maybe 54. I really like 54 millimeters. Don't have sculpted a lot of good 54 millimeters. All my 54 kind of suck in a way, but yeah, really like to paint 54. So I'll try to sculpt more 54. Maybe Maman Brigitte. We'll see. Why not? I made a knight in 54 with Fimo, but it was not good. Not very good. Really need to improve on that. Okay. Go. Okay. Okay. Yes. Oh, sorry. Sorry to yawn, but it's not very easy to have an eye on not being out of frame, you know. Because if I'm making a live stream, it's for showing some sculpting stuff. So if I'm out like that, it's not easy. But Sometimes my gesture feels a little clumsy because obviously I have to pay attention to be in frame, not out. Ah, it's nice. But yeah, I will need to improve my setup in order to use a true camcorder, not just my iPad stuff, which is not bad, but yeah, could be better to have maybe some more quality in my picture. Oh, there's a small problem here. Yeah, we'll need to fix that. We'll make a small thread here. Push that. Make this here, and use that to push a little more. Yeah, that's it. Not bad. Not bad at all. And push that. Okay. We'll add some mineral spirit here for blending stuff together. Yup. Yeah. Okay. This was sufficient. I really like the smell of mineral spirit. Some people just can't bear the petroleum scent. I really like that. I really enjoy this. It's a small pleasure. So yeah. Okay, that's not bad at all. It's turning out well. Okay. Yes. A small bubble, small ball. Plunge it here. Push it. And yeah. Optical fiber connection is something. It's something. It's just something. It's incredible. I'm currently using an iPad for filming what I'm doing and monitor it not just on the iPad but also on my computer next to it. And there are almost no delay in the broadcast. It's amazing. It's amazing. I used to have a connection which used to suck. It was bad connection. Very not the worst in the world, but not good at all. And now I have a good one. Yes, I'm super happy. Very happy. That's so cool to broadcast stuff in a good and having good picture and having people around the globe who wanted to witness some work. So yeah, that's cool. That's something I really like. Yeah. Here is a little gap to here. Push some. I'll put some clay in it. Okay, and that's it. Yep. Yes. Thanks. Oh, the image is good. That's nice. I'm glad to hear that. But the background is messy, yes, and that's a catastrophe. I have two desks and they are just as messy. The other one is just as messy as this one. I it's I can't bear myself to do that. I try to be a little more tidy when I was pushed by my own mess to work on my litter. That was a problem. And the more the most strange thing about that is that I don't like messy stuff. I put mess everywhere, but I don't like that. That's something strange. Okay. Okay. Mm, okay. Yep. Okay. Just have to put this my finger here and just try to improve a little the shape of that, not putting my finger on it too much. There we are. Yep. Yeah. The the armature on this one was a little odd for me. Just started to work on the guy himself, bald, and sculpt his skull, the top of his head, and I removed it. I removed it. Just carve a little, put some epoxy clay, let it dry, and no, before letting it dry, I put some brass tubing, section of tube in the clay. I let it dry like that, and after that I fill the interior of the tube with epoxy clay, and I had some polymer clay on it. So yes, there is a big tube in it. That's why sometimes I put my finger in it on it, because it's quite stiff. So there is not big risk of breaking it apart. So I can't put my finger on it, but gently and lightly. But yeah, all in all, nice. Oh, hello, rats, that boy. Hi, seeing your little ghost here. Hello. Oh, I shared this live stream on the French Facebook group. They're making fun of me, I think. Oh, glad to make you laugh, guys. That's cool. But sculpting live is it's a game changer. Yeah, that's that's very nice. I think I will do it a lot more. Okay. Yeah. Clean my wire here and go there. Yeah. I really like this sensation of raking stuff, you know. That's cool. Okay. Time for refreshing the shapes. Refreshing shape here. Oh, I heard my girlfriend is up. She's here. I hope she will not listen to me. I'm a little shy while speaking a foreign language. Always concerned by mistakes and, you know, blanks when you you try to find a word a word, sorry, you can't find. That's strange. Okay. Oh. Okay, so I think I stop it for now. I need a little break. So thank you for watching and for commenting. And yes, see you very soon. So here we are. I don't know if I will record everything I'm making on it, but yeah. Okay, see ya. Bye bye.